Right, welcome to this review of Warhammer 40,000 7th edition. I'm just really going to be giving you my thoughts and impressions on this new release that's come out. So, first of all, a big mention to Age of Strife. If you go on my channel, you'll see in the recommended channels Age of Strife's channel just there, run by a really nice guy, Nigel King, and he has his own YouTube channel up and running, and there's battle reports on there, other things going on, and then also runs the website ageofstrife.com, and that's where I got the rulebook from. He's running that at a good discounted price. If you want a set of the rules, then visit ageofstrife.com and they'll get a set out to you very quick and at a good discounted rate. So details up on the screen for that website there. So here it is. It's arrived earlier than I thought it would. The rule set, I mean, thinking perhaps 3 or 4 years, but no, it's taken about 2 years, and the 7th edition is here. Is that good? Well, there were problems with some of the rules, so I think Games Workshop have reacted to that and sort of brought out, I don't know, I'd call it maybe perhaps a definitive edition. They've really, the effort they put into this would indicate to me that this set's going to be around for quite a while. I can't imagine them redoing this set after 2 years again. I think this is a set that's been refined and it will be here to stay for quite a while, which is good. So just first impression, surprised at the size of the thing and the fact that it's actually 3 books. But Games Workshop always have to go one above everybody else. I noticed that other gaming companies have started bringing out hardback books of very good quality. So what could Games Workshop do to go above and beyond that? Well, they could release a 3-volume set, all hardbacks, and then a nice cover sleeve to protect it as well. So they've accomplished that, an extremely nice production. On the front there you've got your matte laminate finish, and then what's called spot UV, it's that glossy outline around, and then they've also put in there embossing as well, so you've got that 3D print on the surface as well. That's on all the books and even the spines as well, so highest quality job they've done there. So you open it out and there's 3 books. We'll just go through them in order here. So Galaxy of War is first. That's pretty much just a showcase book. I don't think it's a waste of time doing it. I think it's really nice. Excellent for me when I'm trying to do painting references, and especially if you're painting any of the figures featured in here, you're getting real close-up views and lots of different angles. So it's a handy book to have. And also, if you're thinking of starting a new race, you can imagine new people to Warhammer 40,000, they're thinking of what they're going to collect. They get the rule book, they get this book out here and they flick through it and then just get inspired. The photos are superb. Notice the Games Workshop have been putting a lot of lighting in the background to add even more atmosphere and smoke effects and stuff as well. So nicely done. It's not rushed. They're really taking the time to put this together nicely. So inspiring stuff for colour schemes and for races. And then just tells you all about the hobby and stuff as well. Beautiful pictures of the Imperial Knights. Think I'm going to have to get one. Perhaps for my Imperial Fists, but I love that colour scheme. That's probably my favourite out of all of them. But just to showcase the Games Workshop stuff. Again, love that figure. Very, very nice. New Imperial Guard stuff there. So I'm not going to spend too long on this one. That's pretty much it. I think it's nice. Sort of a collector's sort of thing. You'll be able to hang on to that book even if the rulebook goes out of date. You'll still be able to hang on to that as a reference. So nice enough. Pretty decent price, to be honest. I mean, £50 is the recommended retail price, and then 3 books. That's not too bad going. So no complaints there. And plus, if you get it from a discount wargaming company like Age of Strife, then you're going to get it even cheaper. So no complaints about the cost there really, for what you get. Next one is Dark Millennium. I do like the way they've split that off from the rulebooks. The rulebook's thinned down, which is handy for when you're playing games, so this big thing being brought about all over the place. You've got your rules all enclosed there. You don't have to turn through half the book to get past all the background story to turn to the rules. The rules are there straight away. So I think it's a good move. So Dark Millennium, so that's all your background stuff. And the other cool thing about it is the illustrations. It's probably what inspired me right at the very beginning, back in when I was 14, was the artwork. It was partly the miniatures, but it was the artwork that inspired me to get into the hobby. Just the quality of the artwork, incredible stuff that they have put in, and there's a whole lot of new ones I haven't seen before, and loads of stuff, incredible pictures. So nice again for inspiration, again for colour schemes. For hunting colour schemes, you want to find inspiration from somewhere, and when you look at these kind of things, this kind of artwork, you then get inspired and you say, oh, I'd like to paint that colour scheme, and that's how it works for me. So loads of inspiring stuff here. There's a nice colour scheme for orcs there perhaps. So lovely stuff, very nice. So another nice addition to it, and again split off, so it's not all lumped together in one book. So it's a good move. The only thing I criticise here, you've got the rules now, this is the third part. So you've got your rules. I don't know why they put this one on the front. Perhaps I would have gone for putting that one on the front. That's supposed to be perhaps more of a common thing, but it doesn't matter too much. That's just a preference. So the rules set, I'm just going to run through it here. The first thing that worried me was that 6th edition was gone, and then we were going to be looking at a completely new rule set. I was absolutely terrified of that. But as it's turned out, this is pretty much 6th edition that has been revised. So most, I'd say perhaps 90%, 95% of 6th edition remains, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy about that, because I love 6th edition and the way it worked, and they pretty much kept it as it is. They've just ironed out some things, added some more to it, which is good as well. So just the basic stuff again. Notice they've still kept a lot of the old diagrams and pictures from previous rule set. I think things have been clarified well. I'm just trying to go through here, and things that have stood out for me. I noticed that they've put the psychic phase in now as a separate phase in the game, which is handy enough. I think it was needed because there was confusion over that, as to what point to put that psychic phase in. Some psychic stuff was done in movement, some was done in shooting, some in assault, and it's a bit of a mix there, but now they've done it so that it's a separate phase and they put it in the right order in the turn, so it's probably a good move there. And if there's no psychic stuff to do, you can just skip over it and you know it's done and out of the way, so there's no problem with that at all. Not really into psychic stuff, you notice my armies don't really have too much stuff, so I'm not going to pass comment too much on that, but it pretty much remains the same. Now I'm wondering here, perhaps those who are really getting into this already, I couldn't find focus fire in here. That's where you're able to fire a unit at a part of a unit that's out in the open and take those out. I don't know if focus fire remains. I couldn't find it, perhaps I'm wrong, which I'm surprised about. Focus fire seemed a good idea, but it's just generally it's pretty much remained the same here. Assaults really haven't changed. This is an early stage for me. I don't really get too heavy in the rules. You need to get some games going. You just learn stuff as you go along. And for the assault phase now, they've changed it so that charge range is 2d6 minus 2 going through cover. It's just a tweak. It's nothing major. I suppose it averages it out better, just minus 2 inches if you're going through cover. So it's straightforward enough. what I was going to go through here was the unit types. Here we go. It's nicely organised, straightforward colour scheme. They put things in bold so that you can turn to them quick. And there's some nice stuff towards the end of the book as well. Now, jetpack units. So I can now, with the tower, looking forward to this, I can jump 6, I can run D6, and then I can thrust 2d6, which is nice, a bit of speed, which is good. They've kept the terms by the same names as well. Notice those special rules that are clarified later on. A lot of the names have changed, so a lot of the terminologies remain the same, which is handy as well. So I think the transition for people going from 6th to 7th isn't going to be as hard as I thought it'd be, which I was really worried about. You're going to have to relearn a whole new set of rules, a whole new way of doing stuff. But from what I can see here, the transition should be nice and smooth going. So I'm happy about that. I was pretty annoyed, not annoyed, I'd just say worried that they were bringing out a set after 2 years and thinking, I don't know what they're doing, but they've kept it pretty much the same, clarified stuff, and then they've produced it really nice. So it's really good going. If you wanted to be a real cheapskate, you could buy the set, keep the rule set, and then sell the other 2 books. But I think that would be a bit. I'm not even going to do that to save money. I think I'll keep those books because they're really nice. Just a little thing with flyers and immobilised results. Not 3+ now, your immobilised result, and it counts as a cruise stun. So they're keeping flyers in the air a bit better there. So it's interesting, the one that stood out there. Chariots, right. A little bit disappointed with that. If I'm reading this correctly, for my Necrons now, I will not be able to disembark. The commander there is going to have to stay in the chariot. I don't believe you can get out. You'll have to actually stay in the chariot. So, not sure about that. I like the idea of him able to get out, or if the chariot crashed, that he was able to survive and then carry on as an independent character. Yeah, so with characters here, so characters riding chariots. So in the case of my Necron Overlord now, he used to be able to go in the chariot, get out and do his own thing, get back in, whatever. But now he cannot disembark from his chariot, and if he is reduced to no wounds or the chariot itself is destroyed, then they're both taken off. So interesting move there. That's quite a big change, and not too sure about that. I like the idea of the chariot being destroyed and the character could continue on, especially if it's an independent character you bought separately and then you bought the chariot as a dedicated transport. I could be wrong there, but I think the way I'm reading it here, that nothing's allowed to leave the chariot, so not sure about that, but maybe they've just ironed it out, made it more straightforward. We'll see how it goes. The other thing is with Jink. You may declare that it will Jink, so there's no more you're automatically getting these saves. You've got to declare this Jink, you've got to declare that the vehicle is going to try and make this evasive manoeuvring. Then once it's declared, you then get the save and you go down to snapfire, or snapshots only in the next turn. So no more of this automatic, oh, I'm flying up the table automatically 4+. You've actually got to declare it, and then it's going to have an impact on you on the next turn. That's kind of more realistic. Difficult now for maybe the Eldar, but then again, I'm just thinking with the skimmers. But then, when you're used to flying up the table, you're not firing stuff anyway, but it's going to impact on your next turn for shooting. So, decisions. So I imagine that's going to add an interesting dynamic to the game. That's where you've got potential fire coming in, you're not sure if you're going to get hit, you're not sure if it's going to penetrate, and you've got to make a decision as to whether you're going to evade or not. But then thinking about it, that is kind of realistic. You know, if a person's flying one of these things, they're not going to know if incoming fire is going to hit them, and they're not going to know it's going to destroy them. So it is kind of realistic. You've got to make that decision. That incoming fire, you've got to make that choice. Am I going to Jink or not? And then suffer the consequences or reap the rewards of that. as you go along. So they've made it more realistic, but it's tougher now because you've got to make that decision as the firepower comes in. Another thing with the rules that they've done, which they needed to do, and that is to introduce and clarify stuff on D weapons and super heavies and walkers and super heavy monstrous creatures and so on. That's all integrated in here now, which is a good move. I'm highly tempted now to start doing battle reports where you can take some of these big things. I think there'll be an 1850 points game, you know, with a Baneblade in it or a Titan. Would be an interesting game. I really think it would be, especially if, well, you know, one player's taking a highly powered, you know, Apocalypse unit, and then a regular army is able to take it on, bring it down, destroy it, make for a fun game. So interesting, dynamic. It means now that those big models that you get out only once in a while, you can start using them in games, and we can start featuring them in our battle reports. I think it will make for entertaining games, to say the least. So that's another good thing, and it's all in the book now. You've got all these books piled up all over the place. Those kind of rules, the basics of them at least, are clarified now in the main rule books, which is good. There's not too much else that stood out for me here. Here's the super heavy vehicles here, and they've done the Thunder Blitz table for you. That makes some dangerous things to get near. If you're too close, you get run over by one of these things. And then you've got the stomp rules in there for you as well. That's the vehicle upgrades, characters, all your challenges. It's nicely sectionized. They've done it well. It's a smoother set, this one. I think Games Workshop have done a good job. So you've got your terrain. They've put in some nice clarifications of stuff here, of different terrain types, which is good. Building damage table. I haven't used this kind of thing before, be interesting to start using that in games. And then now we're on to preparing for battle. Right, so they've got these ones here, Lords of War, that's the big fat units, and then they've got the other, and then you've got your fortifications. This is all starting to get lumped into the game, and there's your standard force organisation. Now you've got this bound and unbound armies thing. Nice idea. You can, you know, tournaments or between yourselves when you're playing, you can see how you want to play it. You can put restrictions on it. I'm just so glad that they didn't get rid of the force organisation chart and then just go completely opening the whole thing up. Would have been extremely annoyed about that. I love the force organisation because the temptation is just to buy all of your favourite stuff. But with force organisation, it makes you build a kind of balanced army, and that makes, I enjoy it because you can stand back and look at the armies that you create and they're nicely balanced out. You've got those troops, you've got those elites, and it's a nice mix of stuff. But they've given us the option. It seems that 7th edition is like 6th edition, but with a whole load more extra options to make the game more fun, and you can use those options or you don't have to, which is the good way that Games Workshop have gone about doing it. But they've got this unbound thing, and again, I can imagine that in some of our battle reports being great fun. Just I can think of just like a Tyranid, Trigon and Morlock army roaming the table and being hunted down by another force, so it would make for some great fun games. So it's opened up a whole load of new avenues, and because it's optional, I like the idea of it. I think they've done well. So there's your combined arms, and you get your little bonuses if you use your combined arms, which I like. So that tempts me to stick to my force organisation chart. Be interesting to see how those that stick to the combined arms, the force organisation chart, how well they'll play against these unbound armies, if they're even going to mix them up. Be interesting to see if, you know, an army that sticks to the force organisation chart stands any chance at all. I think it does, and I'd quite happily still play against an unbound army with my standard force. So you've got your command traits. Now they've tweaked these. They've in some cases they've made them a lot better. The terminology is the same, I believe, throughout, but they've moved some stuff around here, and they've redefined some of these and made them a bit better as well, so that's cool. And that's your tactical traits. That's for if you're using the battlefield objectives. Rules, you got your allies chart here, which I think they've tightened up a bit, which is fine. I haven't really gone into allies much, but I think we'll get into that a bit more in future games. Exciting. As I go through this book, my impression is there's a whole load of new doors have been opened, and lots of new exciting possibilities, which is great news. This, as I said before, it's like 6th edition, but even better by the looks of it. So they've kept these deployments, which is nice. I like all of these. I love the hammer and anvil end to end. Great fun. And just logically setting everything out here, it's fine. Pretty much remain the same. And you've got your tactical objectives. Not sure, I don't think I'm going to get into those very soon. Might start to get into that later on. But we're going to keep the games as close to 6 as we can and actually move into different stuff. I haven't really looked into that too much. And I haven't heard any reports as to how much fun that is. I imagine it is, changing objectives throughout the game. And then the missions have remained pretty much the same as well, so happy about that because I like the missions that they did previously, so that's all good. And then here's the Maelstrom of War missions as well. So I would like to have seen, yeah, they haven't done it. They could have introduced other types of battlefield deployment, different deployment zones. Some of the old missions from 5th edition, where you could deploy 18 inches up to the table, there were different ones, and I enjoyed those, and I missed those in 6th edition, and it looks like they haven't brought them back at all in 7th, not even in these Maelstrom of War games, which is a shame. I think they could do a nice mixture of different deployment zones. That's one thing I would say. They could have added some extra ways of doing deployment, but not to worry. But more depth here, which is great. More stuff to get into. Then your special rules. As I said before, they've kept this terminology the same, so you haven't got to learn all these. I remember when 6th edition came out, all these new terms came out and you had to learn what each of these new rules is. In 7th edition they've kept them the same, and that's been really helpful. And they've pulled in other parts of the rules, like destroyer weapon is now in here with the special rules. I think they pulled in a lot of stuff. Barrage rules are in here. Apocalyptic blast, barrage marker is in there. Blast is clarified in the special rules as well. I like the way they've done that, because you know that if you turn to special rules when you're playing the game, then you can find it in amongst here, which is good. Gets hot is in there as well. Infiltrate. They've separated these major ones out into separate boxes as well. It's good stuff. Production quality, layout, it's all good. Template weapons are clarified in here. It's very good. It's all in alphabetical order. Lovely stuff. Range weapons clarified as well and summarised. Melee weapons, grenades, it's all in there. I can imagine flicking to this will be nice and straightforward. They've clarified some of the actual terrain that Games Workshop do, and then they have added in some little special rules for them. Good idea. Again, if you're playing a mission, you can introduce one of these buildings into the game, have it in the centre of the table, whatever, and then to keep it simple, and then in the centre there you can use those special rules, and then that adds another dimension to the game. So I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun exploring the different avenues and possibilities. So they've defined their own terrain that they do, the different stuff that Games Workshop produce. Yeah, look, here's special rules, mysterious wreckage. the depth of scenarios that you can play is never ending. This, yeah, it's good. Now the psychic power is all nicely laid out, nice bold red. You flick to it easy, and then because that's the word you're looking for, and then you've got your stuff coming down. So it's nicely done, and you've got your reference charts and a whole load of clarifications at the back here. Unit types clarified, move distances, effects on terrain, fallback distance, and page numbers. Absolutely brilliant. And again here as well, you've got your tables, your effects of moving. Tell you, they really have done well here. Vehicle damage table. Should have mentioned that earlier on. With vehicles now, the low caliber weapon is not going to be able to destroy a vehicle in one shot. Makes sense. Does kind of make sense. Like a big heavy machine gun, it's going to need to punch a whole load of holes through something before it destroys it, you know, knocking the hull points down. That makes sense. But high caliber weapon, tower, hammerhead, railgun, punching straight through and blowing something sky high, makes sense. So that's good. What they've done, you need an AP 1 or 2 weapon to get that result. So I think they've done well there, and that's just stretched out the results there. That means that vehicle's going to hang around a bit longer. So it's all good stuff. You've got your Thunderblitz, your Stomp tables, all in there. Building damage table, and you've got your missions, mysterious objectives. So that's the review. Just flicking through and just giving you the overall impression. And so the overall impression is that I'm highly impressed. They've brought it out only after 2 years of 6th being around, but the 6th edition hasn't gone. This is 6th edition, upgraded, remodeled, redone, revamped. A lot of the terminology is the same, a lot of the rules have remained the same, so you can breathe a sigh of relief there. You haven't got to relearn an entire set of rules. I think people will pick this set up pretty quick. They'll learn the rules pretty fast, and then the depth that's been added to it in missions, in terrain types, so on, has made this, I think, a definitive edition, and look forward to playing lots of games. And I think this rule set will be around for quite a good long while, which is good. So full credit to Games Workshop for what they've done. Nice production quality, and they've done a good job. So that's the review. And as I mentioned at the beginning, check out Age of Strife on his YouTube channel there. Keep a lookout for new videos being uploaded. And then they run the web store where you can get your own copy of 7th edition posted out to you at a good discounted price. But thanks for watching, and I hope it's given you a good overview of the rules, and enjoy your games of Warhammer 40,000. So thanks for watching, and tune in next time.